I want to shoot a little video of my coil winder, talk about some things that I think are important. Um, what I have here is a aluminum shaft, and then it's threaded here, and then it's even smaller here, and it's exactly the same way on this end. You notice there's a nut here, and then there's this plate, and it has a recessed hole in it, like this one does, so that when this goes on, it can actually go over the top of this bar. And the reason for that is when I put a bobbin on here, and it's tight, I got a bobbin on there, then it's okay, there it is, it's all the way on. You can see there's a little bit of that metal showing, so that when I put this on and put the nut on, I get compression on the coil, on the ends of the coil. And that's really important, because when you wind these coils, these bobbins with wire, they have a tendency to stretch out at the top. There'll be one length here, but then out here at the edge they'll be wider. Well, when I wind mine, because of these two plates that I put on each end, they are the same size here and out here also, which means they do a really good job of fitting into my machine and being flush on this end and flush on the other end. And that's really important when I'm putting these things together. Another thing I wanted to talk about is bobbins that are already wound. I've got some spools, I've got some bobbins that I've already wound. I've already put core material in them, and then I took the wire off of them. And anybody who's done that, you know it's, let me pull this apart here. Anybody who's done that, you know it's very difficult to wind one of these spools when you've already got the core in it. So I made a kind of a special unit, and let me show you one of the things I do. This is an end off of a bobbin, and you can see it's got these two holes in it. So this is kind of my pattern. Every time I have a coil, I put this on the end of it, and I drill two holes in each end of the coil. This one I haven't done that yet. You can see there's no holes drilled in it. Are there any in this side? Nope. None that side either. So my coils have two holes drilled in it, and that's for a reason. Sometime in the future I might want to take the wire off of this coil. Well, here's my unit to do that. If you look at it, you can see it's got two little pins sticking out of it right there, so that this end of the coil, the holes in the end of the coil will fit over those two pins just perfectly. And then right here is a neodymium magnet. And so when this lines up with the core right here, it's going to stick. And then oh, this one does have holes. You can see it because it's one that I wound already. So it's going to stick, and those two little pins are going to go through the two holes, so I will be able to turn this thing, and those pins will catch in the two holes and make it rotate. Now the other end goes in this piece over here, and you can see that it's got an inset in it, and it also still has the two pins to fit into the two holes on the coil. But this end has an inset so that the core that sticks out can go in here like that, fit in there. It also has a piece of plastic around the outside rim right here to help hold the bobbin in place, and then the pins going through the two holes. So that's the way it'll sit in here in the machine. I actually want to have a piece of plastic around this end too. The one that was on here, I dropped it and it broke the plastic off of it. So I'm having to have a new piece of plastic cut And actually, I got one over here that's being glued together right now. As you can see, it's got the same thing. It's got the exactly the same thing here. I had to pull it loose. There you go. You can see all the glue on the inside now, but there's a pin right there, and there's a pin right there. And once I cut this glue out of there, get the glue out of there, then it's got a little lip, so that that little lip goes around the outside of the bobbin, the coil bobbin. There's the magnet right there that'll attach to the end of the coil, and it'll be good. Just got to get rid of that glue. Take a little bit of work to do that, but and then it'll be good. So that's one. And I got some other ones over here for doing some other things that I do, but that one's got a deeper place to hold the coil, and then I got a couple of extra of these things running around with the bearings pressed into them, L brackets with the bearings pressed into them. But this is a piece of PVC pipe, and this is a piece of PVC coupler, so one fits inside the other. There's one too, and here's the one. I think this might have been one that was already on there at one time, and it broke, and I epoxied it right there. That's where all that gray stuff is where this broke, and I epoxied it, but it broke again, so that's the one that was on this one, and I'm making a new one. So anyway, that's my coil winder. It works pretty good. It's just it has another post like this. It goes on this side and holds this up, and then it has 4 drop down bolts that go through and hold that in place. They don't even have to have nuts on the bottom of them. They just drop down through the table and support it and hold it from moving. And then it has an electric drill connected to a little foot pedal so that I can make it go real slow. Or I can speed it up and make it go real fast. So that's my coil winder. And there's some spools. I'm getting ready to wind some coils. And that's the machine that I'm putting together that needs to have the coils put in it. And I'm getting ready to do convert this machine over to magnetic neutralization. Wasn't set up for that initially, but I'm converting it over. This is actually my coil testing machine, but I'm going to go ahead and convert it over to magnetic neutralization and make a machine out of it. So and I did that because it's faster than trying to put my other one back together that's in pieces all over the place.